Here is the vast geography of the United States explained in about 4 minutes. Are you ready? Here we go. The USA is a sprawling country in North America bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to the east, the Gulf of Cuba and Mexico to the south, the Pacific Ocean to the west, the Arctic Ocean to the north, and Canada, with whom it shares the world's longest binational border to the north and east. It also has maritime borders with 18 other countries, thanks to the fact that there are 2 outlying states, Alaska and Hawaii, as well as 14 island colonies spread throughout the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean, of which 5 are inhabited: Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, American Samoa, the Northern Mariana Islands, and Guam. The US is both the 3rd largest and 3rd most populous country in the world, with an extremely similar land area to China, and about 1/3 of a billion residents, about 4% of the world's population. Despite having so many people, America's sheer size gives it a population density of about 94 people per square mile, which is only 2/3 that of the world's land as a whole, meaning that America is less dense than average. This density varies wildly depending on where you are in the country though, with 80% of Americans living east of about this line. Although politically the US is divided into 50 states, I think geographically it has 10 main regions. Those being the Great Lakes, the Coastal Plain, the Appalachian Mountains, the Interior Plateau, the Great Plains, the Rocky Mountains, the Intermountain Desert, and the Pacific Coast, with Alaska and Hawaii occupying their own regions, of course. Each of these regions is wildly diverse in terms of flora, fauna, and landforms, with some of the world's most spectacular features, including the largest stretch of farmable land, the world's hottest desert, the largest freshwater lake system, the most isolated archipelago, and the largest navigable river system in the world. America has tropical islands, Arctic tundra, towering stratovolcanoes, extensive flat plains, coastal swamps, sandstone deserts, and some of the world's most spectacular forests. It's been designated one of 17 mega-diverse countries and is the world's 10th most biodiverse nation. The number one thing you have to understand about American geography is that the United States occupies the best land in the world for industrial civilization. It's not a coincidence that the United States has been the most influential country in the world for almost a century. In fact, it was almost a given. Because this part of North America, and this part in particular, is the single easiest place in the world to grow an abundance of food, produce an abundance of natural resources, support an abundance of people, and then export that abundance to the global market. Add to this that the cold tundra to the north and tropical mountains to the south mean that there are no realistic competitors from the continent, and that the vast oceans on either coast with very few islands mean that the US is insulated from conflict in the rest of the world, and you're left with a country that's been playing civilization on easy mode, with no real civilizational hardship compared to other places. This, more than anything, is what has led to the United States' unprecedented prosperity and what has allowed the middle portion of North America to act as the global center of power, economy, and culture for the better part of a century. The United States is an increasingly urbanized country, and this power is centralized in its major cities, the largest of which are New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Economically, America is the world's largest economy, larger than the next 3 economies combined. And it has the 8th highest GDP per capita at $87,000 a year. It does, however, have the highest inequality of any developed country. Governmentally, the United States is a constitutional republic, for now. The US is one of the world's most car-dependent countries with by far the largest highway network, but also one of the most pitiful public transit systems, which maybe is part of why the US has the most airports of any country with almost 20,000. Yes, that is the right number. The US is home to some of the world's most famous and notable places, including Manhattan, Washington, D.C., the Grand Canyon, Las Vegas, the Golden Gate Bridge, Yosemite, Mesa Verde, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, Miami, Mount Rainier, New Orleans, Hollywood, and mighty Denali. My fellow Americans, I implore you to let me know what I missed in the comments below and let me know where you think we should go next. Thank you so much for watching. Follow for more geography content.